Hello everybody, this is Joe from PrepAgent. I hope you're having a good day. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up and we will get started. How is everybody doing? Give me a thumbs up and we'll get going. So connection is good. All right, I'm starting to see those thumbs up. So I started on this page here. Today we're going to do some vocabulary, but I wanted to look at this page or control panel and point out a few things for you guys in case you haven't noticed already. So at first we see the Need Advice. Click here for suggestions, Joe's tried and true study aids. A lot of you guys asked the best way to study, so I created this sheet here for you guys to look at. Please don't ignore that. Please give it a chance. If it doesn't work for you, totally understand, but it's definitely worth a little look-see to check that out. The other thing is we have the question of the day mailing list. Make sure you check that out. If you guys haven't signed up for that, you want to sign up so you get a question mailed to you every day, a real estate exam question. If it's something that you find annoying, you could very easily unsubscribe. But as far as I'm concerned, it's only annoying when you're not studying for the exam anymore. As long as you're studying for the exam, then it's something you want. I know we don't like junk mail, but PrepAgent's a 3-person operation. So therefore, it's very easy to get in touch with us if you want to get off the email list. We're not some big, scary corporation that puts 1 million people on an email list. So I definitely want you guys to do that. Ooh, congratulations, passing the Florida exam. Good job. Okay, and last but not least, the third button here is our referral program. We know things can get expensive, so we wanted to create a referral program for our students. This is only accessible to people who have access to the control panel. This is not accessible to the public. So if you guys know other people and you guys are referring people to our website, why not get $20 in your pocket? That'll help kind of deter some of the costs that are incurred when you guys start out in real estate. So check that out as well. Like we said, that's only available to our students. That's not available to the public. I recommend you guys take advantage of it. So when people in your class want to use our product, you tell them and you get 20 bucks. All right, what do you guys think? Good idea? Okay. Moving right along. We can all hear me, right, guys? Okay, good. All right, so today we're doing vocabulary. We see the vocabulary on the board. I want you guys to write down as few words as possible, the definition to that word. So, first word on the board is accretion. Accretion. What's that mean? What does accretion mean? Let's go. First word of the day. Who's up first? Oh, Tashina will be making a video. Adrian, make a note of that. We want to send her a message. So Tashina wants to make a video. We love that. Okay, accretion is the addition to land by the action of water. That is accretion. Accretion. Good. Remember, guys, after you pass, you make a video for announcing to the world that you just passed. We'll put that on our YouTube channel for you guys. That'll get you guys a lot of exposure because our YouTube channel is very strong. It will also help you a lot with search engine optimization. And we'll link everything back to your new pages, whether it's social media, a website, whatever you want us to do. We don't do that for a lot of people, but for you guys, We'll let you guys piggyback off our YouTube channel. Get you guys going. Tashina, send us a message through the website, and we'll definitely take care of that for you. Adrian, you there? Okay, straight note. The straight note. What's that? What's a straight note? The straight note is when you're only paying the interest. Good. Only paying the interest. Good. Implied contract. What's an implied contract? Implied contract. So it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, acts like a duck. It must be a contract. Right, guys? Done by your actions. Your actions indicate that it's a contract. Some things this works for, some things it doesn't. Who could give an example of an implied contract? Yes, Diana, that's correct. All straight notes have a balloon payment at the end. Good question. Give me an example of an implied contract. Lisa says restaurant. That's a good example, Lisa. When you sit down and you eat the food, it is implied that you're paying the bill. You can't eat the food and be like, nah, I don't want to give you $10. I'll give you $8. Never signed for the 10. This is worth 8 to me. You can't do that. Paying a taxi, the movies, and of course, there's examples in real estate. Those are a little more complicated. And those can be implied contracts. So Monica, showing someone properties, not necessarily. So a better example would be if you went to somebody's house, you put a for sale sign in front of their house, you held an open house, the seller knew you had a for sale sign, knew you were holding open houses, and they even brought you lemonade to help you. Then you'd have more of an argument for an implied contract. Implied contracts in real estate get a little more tricky, but it's good you guys understand what it is. Exclusive agency listing. Who knows what that is? Exclusive agency listing. Exclusive agency listing. Okay, one broker, good, that's part of it. That's an exclusive listing, of which this is a type of exclusive listing, but there's more to it than that. It does have a termination date. Nice job, Namisha. Oh, excuse me, that was Malu who said termination date. If the owner sells it themselves, there's no commission. Okay, good job, Rosa, Robert, and Marta. If the owner sells it themselves, there's no commission. Remember, guys, there's two types of exclusive listings. So an exclusive listing means there is only one broker involved, right? Okay, there's only one broker involved. That's why you need a termination date, because if they don't do a good job, you need the ability to go look for somebody else. So it can't be indefinite, okay? The two types of exclusive listings are exclusive agency and exclusive right to sell. An exclusive agency, if the owner sells it themselves, then you get nothing. Exclusive right to sell, you get paid no matter what. Okay? Has everybody got that? So those are the two types of exclusive listings. Both only have one broker involved. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Obviously, when you practice real estate, you're more than likely going to be signing exclusive right to sell listings. And it says it right at the top of the contract. When people say I'm signing a listing, whether they see it or not, at the top it says exclusive right to sell. If you want to hire multiple brokers, what type of listing would it be? So if you say, you know what, I'm going to be honest with you, I'll give you the commission if you sell my house, but I don't want to commit to you. I want to have lots of people look for my house. And if that kills your motivation to look for a buyer for me, then so be it. I don't care. Okay, that would be an open listing, also known as a non-exclusive listing. All right, guys? So you could see an open listing worded that way. So if you see non-exclusive listing, do not get confused. Okay? So I want everybody to remember that. Open listing and non-exclusive listing is the same thing. I love doing the vocabulary because we pick things from all the sections. It's like our little general review. Okay, the market data comparison approach. What's that all about? Who else here really likes it when we do vocabulary? I really like it when we do vocabulary. The market data comparison approach. Okay, it's when you're comparing like properties, comparing similar properties to find your value. This is the most basic form of appraisal that we use in every facet of our life. When you guys go shopping for shoes, what do? Those shoes are awesome. How much are they worth? Well, the other store is selling the same shoes for this price, and then you'll probably look at 3 or 4 stores, you look at those shoes online, and then when you do that, you come up with what's the best price for those shoes. Right, guys? I just bought a pair of New Balance 990 version 5s, the New Balance shoe. And before I bought them, I looked at what they were selling on New Balance website. I looked at what they were selling on Amazon. I looked at what they were selling at the local stores. So finally I said, this is basically what they're worth. Without knowing it, I was doing the market data comparison approach. That was straight to Amazon. Doesn't everybody go to Amazon? Okay. What are the other 2 forms of appraisal? So market data comparison approach is the most basic, right, guys? That's my house is worth this much. How do I know? Because the house down the street that's just like mine is worth that much. So I basically know how much it's worth minus, a few give or take things. Okay, so the other types of approaches is the capitalization income approach and the cost replacement approach. Okay, capitalization income approach and the cost replacement approach. What type of property would you use if you were using the capitalization income approach? What do you guys think? What type of property would you guys be using if it was the capitalization income approach? So sure, Malu, I'll repeat. You have the market data comparison approach, the capitalization income approach, and the cost replacement approach. So the capitalization income approach would be used for anything that's generating revenue. Could be a rental property, could be an ice cream store, could be office buildings, things of that nature. Okay, everybody write this down. Cap rate converts income into value. Cap rate converts income into value. Everybody write that. Cap rate turns income into value. Because when you have that capitalization income approach, what you're doing is you're saying, you know what, this value of the building is not just about how big it is and the street it's on and other aspects of location, but it's also about what kind of potential income could this building generate for a certain type of business. And that could be a very complicated formula that we're not getting into now. But a lot of businesses say, well, you as a shoe store who sells those shoes, if you're in this location could generate this kind of revenue for you. So therefore, it has more value for you than maybe that location over there. How much more value? That's what this cap rate does. Everybody got it? Now, I saw a lot of you guys writing about just do price divided by rent and gross rent multiplier, and that's fine, but that wouldn't work for the example I just gave. Okay, if it's like a business that's maybe selling ice cream or shoes or things of that nature. The thing you're talking about, the gross rent multiplier, is a derivative of the capitalization income approach, but when it's much more simple. Like if it's just, a building that has tenants or a house where you're renting out. Things of that nature, like a multifamily unit, which is something you guys will use quite a bit. So gross rent multiplier is just a much more simplified version of what that capitalization income approach does. So everybody got it? So you could use that gross rent multiplier for something simple. $100,000 property brings in $10,000 in rent a year. $100,000 divided by 10,000 gives you 10. No problem. But it's much more complicated if the income is not from tenants paying rent, but it's also from selling a service or selling food or selling, products, things of that nature. Does everybody got it? Everybody understand the difference? Why the capitalization income approach is much broader than just the gross rent multiplier. Okay, and the last one was the cost replacement approach. The cost replacement approach. So what type of building would you use for the cost replacement approach? Cost replacement approach, like a school, good, a library, a police station, properties that don't bring in any income, like the ones we just discussed, and properties that have no comparables. So in those cases, you would use the cost replacement approach. This approach is pretty much a last resort, as it's probably the least accurate, because you're essentially just looking at how much would it cost to replace it brand new. So what that means, if the property is old, which a lot of these properties are that we're describing, then this approach becomes more and more inaccurate. It's the most accurate if that library was built yesterday. Then how much would it cost to replace it brand new? I don't know, just look at how much it cost to build yesterday. Everybody got it? But if it was built 100 years ago, that library is a 100-year-old library, it's much harder to figure out how much it would cost to build it brand new because you're not going to be building an exact replica of what it is no matter how hard you try. Does everybody got that? So basically the hardest type of building to appraise is a really old building that does not bring in income and does not have comparables. So those historical buildings in certain communities are super difficult to appraise. Does everybody get that? Okay, what is a lien? What is a lien? What is a lien? A lien means that you owe money. You owe money. Liens go into two categories. What are they? What are the two categories of liens? What do you guys think? What are the two different categories of liens? Who could tell me the two categories of liens? Voluntary, involuntary, that is true, but that wasn't what I was getting at. What I was getting at is general and specific, although voluntary and involuntary would have been a good answer to that question as well. So you have general liens and specific liens. Right, guys? General liens and specific liens. Who could give me an example of a general lien? Who could give me an example of a general lien? Who could give me an example of a general lien? So income tax, good. A judgment, good. Excellent. Who could give me an example of a specific lien? Who could give me an example of a specific lien? What is an example of a specific lien? So mechanics lien, property tax, special assessments, good. Your mortgage, those would be specific liens. What's the difference? Seems like all you guys get this. A specific lien only goes after one property, and a general lien goes after all your property. Okay, the only real type of voluntary lien I could think of as per for your exam is when you get a loan from a bank. When you get a loan, that's a voluntary lien. I can't really think of other types of voluntary liens. Maybe you guys can, but for me, that's all I got for you. The rest of the liens are all involuntary. Quitclaim deed. What is a quitclaim deed? That's right, Diana. Mortgage is when you get a loan from the bank. A quitclaim deed has no express or implied warranties. I see a lot of people writing no warranty. So tell me what that means. Let's make sure we're not just regurgitating words we see in our textbook. We actually know what we're saying. What do you guys think? So what does that mean when you guys write no warranty? How many of you guys are thinking, I don't know, it's just something that's in my textbook. I just write down what it says in my textbook. What does that mean? No warranty. As is. Good job, Alicia. Basically means the problems the property has is going to get transferred over. Okay, so quitclaim deed, you're essentially signing over the property to another party. I see a lot of you guys write divorce or family or things of that nature, because in those situations, the person who's receiving the property has either lived there themselves or they are very familiar with what the property is all about and all its problems. At least you get a big gold star and a fist bump. Where's all my bilingual people here? Anybody speak more than one language? Where's the multilingual people? A great asset for when you guys practice real estate. Even if you're not, you always seem smarter when you speak languages people don't expect. Is that true or not? Like if I turn around and I start speaking I don't know, Russian, Chinese, and Spanish, then you guys may look at me like, I don't know what he's saying, but I automatically think he's super smart. It's totally true. Am I right or am I right? When you see somebody who knows a language that you did not expect them to know, you automatically think like, woof, that person's smart. I know nothing about them, but they're smart. The key thing is you always got to know a few words from a language that nobody would expect you to know. Like if I say ni hao, it throws a lot of people off that I could speak some Chinese. Even though I can't speak that much, to tell you the truth, but I could speak enough where people go, what? He's so smart. I could say, hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien? Got my Spanish. Voulez-vous français? My French. So that's my recommendation for you guys today. Learn a few words in another language that nobody would expect you to know. And then everybody would be like, what? This person's just a genius. Genius. Okay, so what is puffing? What is puffing? Puffing is an exaggeration. An exaggeration. Good. No, the real languages I can speak English and Spanish. Those are the two languages I got nailed down. Portuguese. Você boom, Larry. Você boom. Got that Portuguese down. Okay, Cynthia says, saw my video with Luna. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, what's that chain of title? Chain of title. Chain of title is the history of ownership. The history of ownership. Good. Abstract is the complete summary. The chain is specific to the history of ownership. Essence of Cha. What a great name for a chat. Essence of Cha. Sounds like a movie that has like Keanu Reeves in it. Who doesn't like Keanu Reeves? He's the coolest. You guys see Keanu Reeves made all that money, but he still takes the bus to work and drives a crappy car because he gave all his money like away. He gave a huge amount of his money away to like people who work on the movies and to charities. And the guy lives off like basic income. He's the coolest. Thank you, Diana. Okay, amenities. Amenities. What's an amenity? Yash, leverage is when you use other people's money. That's essentially what it is. It's using other people's money. Okay, amenity, those things which enhance the enjoyment. You guys see when Keanu Reeves on a plane that they had to land and they couldn't get to the location, so he paid for everybody on the plane to take a bus to go to their location. They all got to ride the bus with Keanu Reeves. He paid for everybody to take the bus with him so they could get home. Man, I'm going to watch all the Matrix movies tonight right after this webinar. But not that movie Speed. That movie was stunk. I hated that. Okay, joint tenancy. What is joint tenancy? Joint tenancy. Joint tenancy. Okay, so you have to tip. Time, title, interest, and possession. Time, title, interest, and possession. You need those four unities. Joint tenancy also has the right of survivorship. Joint tenancy also has that right of survivorship. Okay. Good job, everybody. Exclusive right to sell listing. We went over this before, so everybody should get this right. Oh, you guys heard that ding? That ding was Adrian writing me saying, don't talk bad about Sandra Bullock. So Gucci right of survivorship just means that if two people own the property and one passes away, the other owner gets the property. That's what that means. Okay, exclusive right to sell means that you get paid no matter what. You get paid no matter what. Personal property. What is personal property? One of the first things we learn when we open our textbook. Right after they explain to you what the bundle of rights are, they get into personal and real property. Okay, Alicia says movable, chattel. Chattel is another word for movable. Remember, chattel, cattle, cows, move. I know it sounds ridiculous, but when you take your exam and you're going chattel, move, oh, right, awesome, woo! You're going to be super excited. Chattel, cattle, cows, move, movable. I like to say personal property goes with the person because not all the examples are like tangible things, so it can get confusing. For example, a lease is personal property, but lease is really an agreement. It's not really a tangible thing. We like to use the piece of paper example, but really it just signifies it goes with a person. So personal property are movable objects. They go with the person. What's duress? Duress. What is duress? So duress is when you are putting pressure on somebody to do something. Would that make the contract void or voidable? Would that make the contract void or voidable? Would that make the contract void or voidable? So that would make it voidable. Voidable. Good. Because you have the option to go through with it. Negative amortization. What is negative amortization? A minor signing a contract makes it voidable. Makes the contract voidable. It's not void because you have the option to go through with it, Martina. Okay, negative amortization is when your payments do not cover the interest and the debt goes up. The debt goes up. The debt goes up. All right, guys, so that's it for today. Great session today. I feel like we covered a lot of material. And I will see you guys soon. This is Joe from PrepAgent. Tomorrow we are on at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. You guys do the math where you are in between. And on Friday, we are back at 10 o'clock California time, 1 o'clock Eastern time. All right? So I hope you guys have a great day. That wasn't short, Marisol. That was 40 minutes. How long were you in class when you were in high school? Weren't those like 42-minute sessions? All right, thanks, everybody. Have an amazing day.